Quantity is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Burke Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/24.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts in Delhi. Call 763-1627.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're home to the NFL. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got in the bag.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Thursday morning. I've been trying confused all day which day this is, but it is Thursday, Jay. It is our last live Inside Drive of 2023.
I made it all the way through the year without you or David firing me. That's amazing.
I don't know if we can legally do that.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't.
Jay wouldn't know the difference. Right.
Start off with a bang. How long we got you today for? Put you on the spot.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. How am I supposed to plan out what we're going to talk about with a we'll see?
We'll blow with the wind.
Good thing it's not very windy today.
That's right.
Beautiful day out there.
It is a beautiful day out there. We got a lot of people out there at the golf course.
Oh, gosh.
We got the big SNEDS tournament starting tomorrow. It's a fun one they do. It's the Tennessee Junior Golf Foundation, and Brent Snedeker has a junior tour, and they play a ton of events up there in Tennessee. They start their season at Sea Island, and then they end it with us at Bay Point.
Wow.
So not little bad bookends there, but we've been doing this one. This will be our third year. They call it Coasting into the New Year with SNEDS.
Nice.
But you saw all the kids out there. Tons of kids, tons of parents, tons of regular people playing golf. It is a beautiful day.
Yeah.
A lot of people in town getting ready for the New Year's holiday. So, yeah, we'll have that tournament the next couple of days. So, probably see a lot of you in the new year out there at Bay Point Golf Club. Our next local pass will start January 1st. Hard to believe we're already January 1st, but we do one local pass every quarter. That is for all people that have local IDs in Bay or the 5 surrounding counties, or if you have an active military ID. You do have to have an ID to be eligible for that local pass. You pay a one-time registration fee in each quarter, and you get to play for reduced rates for rounds of golf anytime. And the registration fee also comes with a free free round of golf as well. So we'll be kicking that up and going again right there on January 1st, which is right around the corner. How'd your junior camp go yesterday?
It was great. It was good. They had a lot of fun, and we're going back at it again at 1 o'clock today.
That's it.
Yeah, we're going to play some
here
fun
about
games.
12:55.
Yeah, well,
the show ends technically at 12:57, so that gives you 3 minutes to get there.
It's true.
It's not that far.
Yeah, and just
Scout's got this.
Yeah,
is she helping you out again today?
She is. She's good help. And,
nice.
Glad to have her. But yeah, it's been good, and we'll do it again tomorrow, and then I'm gonna call it a year. I'm gonna call it a year.
There you go.
And
well, there's only a couple days left.
This is true.
Because what? Today's the 28th, so 29th. So you're taking the 30th and 31st off.
Yeah. You got any New Year resolutions by chance, or
to get you to prep for the show?
Is that your New Year's resolution?
It's not my New Year's resolution.
I got you.
But no. My New Year's resolution for the show next year is to somehow keep track of all the J-isms that you've had over the course of our show.
Okay.
Because it's weird. Like I do these, and people are like, "What'd you talk about today?" I'm like, "I have no idea." I don't remember what we talk about. It's weird how that works. Does that happen to you in the afternoon?
Well, yeah, yes, yes. I hardly ever if people will be like in here. We'll be talking about you need to go grab some sound clips. I'm like, man, I'd have to go back and listen to the whole
entire
2
thing,
hours. Yeah. And when you said something about one of the things we're going to do today, I'm like, okay, we'll see how that goes.
It's tough.
Does that mean that we're forgettable though, or
no? I think it's just when you're talking live and it's not scripted.
Yeah,
I feel like you don't remember. Because Bill will always ask me when I get back to the club. He's like, "What'd you guys talk about on the old sports talk today?" And I was like, "I don't know. Jay said something crazy. We talked about a few games. I don't really remember." Now there are some moments, and we'll get to them later in the show, that I want to pick your brain about some of your favorite interviews that we've had over the interviews. I do seem to remember a little bit more than,
I do too.
than your moments.
I do too.
You've had some great moments though, but my resolution for next year,
long montage,
is to keep track of all the sayings and also the wild things you say. Of course, Memphis, capital of Tennessee, lives. Texas being independent from the United States of America. Those are burned into my brain. I can't get those out. So
the Texas being independent isn't as bad to me as Memphis being the capital of Tennessee, because for some reason I feel like I've heard that as well. Like Texas is its own thing while still being a part of America.
People sarcastically saying, Texas is its own part, its own country.
I don't know. It's so weird. I guess this is my 12-year-old talking, but it's like if the Memphis Grizzlies are in Memphis, it automatically qualifies as a capital.
Right. So that's why Tampa, I guess, and Miami and Jacksonville should be our capitals here in Florida, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that holds true. It's not very many. There's no
the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, interesting.
But Nashville does have the Predators and the Titans, so I mean,
there you go.
That'd be an interesting little fun fact to go around the horn with. What state capitals have sports teams?
That would be. Yeah. What's the state capital of Texas, though?
Austin.
It is Austin? Okay. Well, there's not a sports team in Austin.
There's the University of Texas.
Yeah.
But that's not a pro sports team, though.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm looking at you and watching your brain turn while I'm looking at you.
So you got California's got the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, got the Sacramento Kings. Oh, yeah, let's go around the horn real quick. This will be kind of fun. What's the capital of Oregon, Jay?
Oh, gosh. Not Portland, or is it? Is it Portland?
I want to say, man, maybe my football is just dominating my brain. I want to say it's Eugene, right?
We're about to find out.
Yeah, we are.
But I mean, there's no other. I said, take for instance Georgia. I mean,
we should have started with Oregon. That didn't go very well. All right, go to Georgia.
What about Oregon?
I looked up Oregon capital, and it's
Salem.
Yeah. No team there.
God,
there's really only the Portland Trailblazers.
Portland Trailblazers.
That's it.
Yeah, they had the. Nope, they didn't even have the Seattle.
No, Easy J. Easy J. That's a different state. That's a different state.
Yes.
Yeah. Seattle, Washington.
We're gonna have to have some Davisms as well next year.
Right.
No sports.
My New Year's resolution is to be more like Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
There you go.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No,
ignorance
nothing.
is bliss.
You're right about that. There's no doubt.
It is.
All right, Georgia. What sport teams you got in Atlanta? Let's see if you can name them.
Hawks, Braves, Falcons. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Used to have the Thrashers.
Yep.
No longer.
No longer.
Florida does not have a team in their capital.
Well, see, that's a proven fact.
South Carolina does not have a professional sports team.
I mean, what's in South Carolina? It seems like not a lot.
I went to school in South Carolina.
I know.
I also lived in South Carolina for many years. There's a lot of farmland.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of coastline.
I can only imagine being someone like from South Carolina. Like, what's in South Carolina?
That's all right. Yesterday, Travis was all over ETN's family.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with ETN?
He's like, what's wrong with their family? I was like,
Even his mom on Twitter.
Yeah, he's blasted. He's putting Trevor's mom. Trevor transferred to your school.
Okay. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, because I know you pay attention to that kind of stuff for your university.
I caught it in a glimpse at some point yesterday. I saw ETN and Georgia, and I started, catching. Yeah. That's the thing with social media, though, is like I think it gets us in, or this is what I'm.
That's how you found out about Texas social media.
Yeah. Well, you scroll and like I think I thumbed through it too quickly, and I just I don't catch all the details of it.
Well, you would have to stop, click on it, and read in order to find out.
You got to click on the link.
Yeah,
right. And see, I don't have patience for that, but
and that is social media in a nutshell.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
everyone's like, I learned so much today from reading all these headlines, bro.
Right.
Did you read the article though?
No, I did not.
No, that was a rhetorical general question there.
Yeah. So there's all this going on in my head, but the detail part is not there.
Somebody says details matter, but I don't know who that is.
We'll just leave that up to them.
Yeah, right. That's up to that person.
Yeah, I never colored inside the lines as a 5-year-old. Never did.
I don't think anybody thought you did.
Yeah.
It's another Jayism, colored inside the lines.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Who's texting me? It's probably something to do with Oregon. How we missed that Salem capital.
God, I mean,
I had Bend stuck in my head. Bend, Oregon.
I didn't feel right about it when I was saying it, but like I said, we're on sports radio.
Yeah, we're not geography majors.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Is there a sports team in the capital of North Carolina, Jay?
Is it Charlotte? Is Charlotte the capital? Or Raleigh, Durham?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is Raleigh.
It's not Charlotte.
Yeah, it's not Charlotte. See,
but isn't
the Hurricanes? Don't they play in Raleigh?
Yes. They do play in Raleigh.
Hurricanes?
The Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh,
they won the 2006 Stanley Cup.
Okay.
I believe it was 6, yeah.
All right, going up, Virginia. What's the capital of Virginia?
Oh, gosh. Not Newport News. not Norfolk. It could be.
You're naming some cities, though, with N's.
Yeah.
Good job.
Norfolk Admirals.
Yeah.
Norfolk State. I always used to play with Norfolk State in NCAA football.
Oh, nice.
Just because they had cool colors.
It's Richmond, ain't it?
Yes.
Is it Richmond?
Richmond, Virginia is the capital. And does Virginia even have a professional sports team? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Interesting.
Capital of New Jersey, is that Newark?
No.
It's not Newark.
Nope.
What did he just say?
Capital New Jersey is Newark.
New Jersey. I thought he just asked what the capital of Virginia was.
No, we ain't that bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Trenton.
See,
Trenton, New Jersey.
No kidding.
Nope.
Now, is Newark a city?
It's a big city.
Isn't that where The Sopranos is?
What's that, Trenton?
Based in?
Yeah, Trenton's kind of that central Jersey area right there close to Philadelphia.
I got you.
Also close to Camden, New Jersey, which has the highest murder rate
I've heard
country.
That.
Yeah.
Making Georgia a very close second.
Woo.
Yeah.
There you go. But anyway, no, there's no professional sports teams in the capital of New Jersey. However, Newark, as you said, has the New Jersey Devils, and the Meadowlands has the New York Jets and New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
New York City. What's the capital of New York?
Man, it's
You got this.
You probably want to hear me say it, though.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, because everybody loves to hear me say it. Albany.
Yeah.
Albany.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Is it Albany? Albany.
You can say it however you want. I always said Albany.
Albany.
Yeah, but there's an Albany, Georgia, too,
there
right?
There is, yeah.
So you say it differently down here.
The third highest crime rate in the whole United States.
Ooh. Albany, Georgia is for real?
Like, seriously.
When are these stats from, though?
Yesterday. Just yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no team no professional sports team in the capital of New York either.
Well,
how do we get on this topic?
Oh, so I said Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes, there was the Capital. There we go.
Yeah.
So I think we're kind of going around the horn learning that the Capitals don't necessarily pertain to having a professional sports team.
It's very interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah.
Is Detroit the capital of Michigan?
It's not Lansing, is it? Man, my geography is terrible.
I used to know all this really easily, but when you're talking about it on the air, you second guess yourself.
Yeah.
Well, and then when you start throwing out these football town names and stuff,
Yeah, like East Lansing.
For sure. Gotta be, bro. Ann Arbor? Of course.
Yeah, Lansing,
Is
Michigan.
it really?
Yeah. According to the
proud,
old,
I'm amazed.
Not proud, I'm amazed. But yes, no professional sports team there either. I think we can probably stop the exercise. I think the point's been driven. But Detroit has many teams. I guess big cities usually is how it goes.
Oh, they did do a study of the cities and towns most dangerous in the U.S., and it was actually dropped yesterday, December 22nd, 2020.
You did read an article, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Well, no, he didn't because his
I'm way
his
off.
facts were way or not his facts.
Number one, is Camden in the top 5?
Camden is not in the top
Look
5.
at New Jersey getting better
Cleaning
at life.
it up, baby.
Camden, man, they're not even in the top 15 according to this one. Oh, this is crime cost.
Yeah. Gotcha. Interesting.
But they got Birmingham number 1, New Orleans number 2, St. Louis number 3, Detroit number 4, Memphis number 5.
Ooh, that state capital sneaking in there for number 5.
Yes, sir.
Watch out for that mic. It'll sneak up and bite you.
Oh, goodness.
You take us where you want to go. I got lots of stuff.
I mean, I'm reflecting upon.
I don't know how much long we have with you today, so this is your time to shine.
It'd be 2023 and
soon to be 2024
to help help co-host a radio show. I wouldn't have thought in all my years here on Earth that I would be a part of this, and I'm glad. I'm happy.
We're glad to have you. I couldn't imagine doing it with anybody else but you.
Yeah, it's been a good year.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
We'll have to do a May 1st big show next year.
Oh yeah,
do some big giveaways or something. It's a long way. It's not that far away.
No,
5 months. What's you snickering back there, Jay? Or Jay? David?
Yeah, we got 2 J's. Ryan and 2 J's.
Yep. JRJ.
I'm reading some of the Facebook comments. Cliff says, we all laugh. I made an easy 100 on my state capital test. I sure wouldn't do as well now. Too much noise in the system and too much filtering of need-to-know information.
That is true.
Caveman Rick says, speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, Sebastian Otto became the 4th player in Carolina and Hartford history to record 400 points. And Cliff says, what did he say? It's they're starting to pile in now. Talking football, obviously the Braves are relevant. The Hawks are debatable, and that's about it.
There's a little boo bird there at the end. That's probably when we said something about the incorrect state capital.
Yeah, and I think he was talking about Sebastian Aho.
Yeah,
not Otto.
Missed the Thrashers.
Oh, okay.
Atlanta.
You think they'll ever get another opportunity? I've heard murmurs of it, but they've had 2 chances.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one because I think you'll eventually. I don't know.
Jay, would you start going to hockey games in Atlanta if they got another franchise?
I would. I would. I mean, I
did.
Definitely.
You ever go the first 2 times?
No, I went to the Gwinnett Gladiators game and a couple times, and I don't know, man. I'm trying to. I try to keep an open mind on so many things, but man, like I tried even watching hockey, and even went with a Canadian guy, like I said, right? I mean, and
that's so stereotypical.
What? I mean,
just because he's from Canada doesn't mean he knows hockey.
Well, you would think, right? No.
Do you know football because you're from Georgia? No. So there you go. Case in point. Continue.
But anyways, no, I can't grasp it. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Well, if you don't know the rules, you don't understand the game, it can be a little more complex to watch.
Yeah.
It just looks like chaos.
But I do like the hard hitting, the intensity of it. It looks more intense than football and even MMA fighting. I mean, it's like a combination. I mean, I don't know. It's but it's fun to watch. I mean, I enjoy it.
It's fast paced.
It is.
Yeah.
There's
a lot going going on in one moment. Yeah, the Devils got a win last night, which was important because they haven't really been. Their goaltending play has been awful. I reached out. Hopefully, once we get into the new year, I'll have the lead ice technician for the New York Islanders joining us on the program. I had to go through the Islanders organization to get permission to interview him, so hopefully that'll come through because I grew up with him on the same street. He's a couple years older than I. He would have been a senior when I was in 8th grade, and he was a hockey player too as well. And he worked for the Devils for a while. And now he's been with the Islanders for quite some time.
And what's his position again?
He's lit.
Yeah,
it's lit.
Lead
ice technician.
Lead ice technician.
Right over your head.
Does that mean that he controls the Zamboni?
It means anything to do with the playing surface, he is in charge of. He's got a crew of about 7 or 8 guys. But also, the things you don't forget about is a lot of these places aren't just for hockey. They got to turn and burn them for circuses and events and concerts and all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to you asking a lot of fun questions in that interview.
I mean, my first question would be, would ice be the same in Detroit versus or wherever versus the Tampa? You know, is the surface still the same, even though we're in a different area?
There's a few different things when it comes to certain things. Some of the boards react differently. Everybody's used to be back in the day, glass had stanchions in between them, but now it's all seamless glass. But yeah, everybody's boards act a little different. It's kind of like a basketball hoop, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get the same bounce off of every rim and every backboard. Even though they may be the same, they all have a little bit different. But yeah, ice is still frozen water at the end of the day.
But their pre-game routine would be to maybe hit some up against that board just to kind of see what it is. That part of their routine to kind of see.
I don't know. They'll pass it
against that board. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, the glass and to see the reaction of the puck.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's a big deal. I mean,
sure.
Well, like how
that's what I was talking about. How because each arena, each set of boards reacts a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But that's what they do. They've probably played there. The vets have played there multiple times, but during the shoot around, they get to fill those walls out a little bit.
I got you.
Hey, Travis, I know you're on the line, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, we'll bring you in, Jay Henley. We'll see what else you have to reflect on from 2023.
Yes, sir.
All right, you're listening to The Inside Drive. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Michigan. They cheated. They cheated all season. You can't really assess their talent or their record. Secondly, the Big Ten is just really weak. They didn't play anybody outside the Big Ten that had any reputation. Having them won and having them in it all, I think, is as big of an issue, probably even bigger than Alabama being in.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Clear this afternoon and evening with a wind out of the west around 13 miles per hour and a high of 60. Tonight, look for a brisk wind and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 42. Tomorrow, high around 52 and mostly sunny with a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, warm with a high of 55 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Are you thinking of doing a fundraiser? Well, Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan says, let's raise some dough. Earn up to 50% profit with a Krispy Kreme fundraiser in-shop or online. So let's raise some dough at Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan.
Coming in hot.
So hot.
It'll be a hot one. Really hot. Goddamn.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We failed our Capitals test there in the first segment. I know Travis is on the line now talking about social media and scrolling through it. Here's a fun stat with Travis being a Saints fan. Alvin Kamara's career total yards in 100 games is 9,999. He was 1 yard short of having 10,000 yards in 100 career games. What are the chances of that, Jay Henley?
Day late, $1 short.
That's right. Well, he's about to go over it, it looks like. But, hey, Travis, how are you doing today? You still there, Travis?
He gone.
No, he gone. Oh, man. I hope I didn't upset him about the talking about ETN's parents and family.
He's probably trying to come defend himself.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'd be upset, too. But, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Do you know what happens January 1st, 2024? This is really out of left field, but it has to do with your field of business.
Really? Really?
Do you remember back in 2010, the USGA came out with a rule that was going to make the old U-grooves non-conforming?
Okay, the old square grooves.
Yep, the old square grooves, U-grooves, anything but V-grooves wouldn't work. Well, for 2014, the professionals had to make that change and move to the V-groove with their equipment. But guess what starts? Everybody kind of forgot about it. It was 14 years ago, but for regular golfers, it starts January 1st, 2024. In order to have your correct, in order to have a USGA handicap established, you have to use V-grooves.
Can y'all explain what y'all are talking about?
Yes. I'm glad you asked.
So thank you, David. I was about to ask the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
God.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so golf clubs, the grooves, right, on the face of the club,
okay,
they all have to be V grooves now. There was a period of time where they were doing U grooves or box grooves, and what that did is it would allow the groove to grab that ball a little more and create more spin. And thus making it a little easier to play, especially out of the rough and stuff like that, because you're getting more interaction with the ball in the club face than the grass. Well, in 2010, the USGA got rid of the U grooves, the box grooves, anything but B grooves. But they were giving 14 years for amateur golf to have an opportunity to kind of catch up. Now, if you've bought clubs since 2010, you have V grooves. So it really, if you have iron...
If you bought them off eBay.
Well, if you bought a set that was, before 2010, absolutely, it could have box or U-grooves. Like the old Ping I2 sand wedge that everybody loves. That thing was made with some big old box grooves. But so, and again, is anybody going to penalize you? No, but I just thought it was crazy that happened so long ago, and here we are, January 1st, 2024. If you're establishing a USGA handicap, going to play in any USGA events and all that stuff, you got to have V-grooves.
It's crazy. Thinking back, and I've even mentioned this before, but like late 90s with a Ping I2 black dot wedge from about 140 out, and you gave me an old tour Balata, brand new tour Balata.
Suck that thing back to your foot.
Dude, and then you throw in the bent greens, which we don't have around here.
Nope.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, I mean, we call it chewing. I mean, that thing would chew, and it would just spin back like 50 feet.
You'd also rip big old slices in your Balata ball, too.
Yeah. But, I mean, it would be cool to do like a Balata tournament if there's still some Balata balls out there. I mean, I know some guys that's like, hey, look, let's, go get some old clubs and hit some, everybody's got to play a Balata ball. Yeah. It'll be kind of cool.
Here's another one. What's a Balata ball?
It was just an extremely soft golf ball. Gotcha. The cover was very soft. It was still a rubber band ball, right?
Yeah.
It's just the cover was really soft, so you could generate more spin, more feel around the greens, but you'd put smiley faces on that bad boy left and right, hitting your wedge with these big old grooves, and it would just cut right into it.
And even back in the day, I mean, a dozen of those were probably going for like 40 or so. And
Titleist Tour Balata 90s and 100s?
Yeah.
Did they make 110s too?
I don't remember the 110 compression.
Me neither. That might have been the professional.
It could have been.
Because that was the ball that I think superseded the Tour Balata.
Yeah. I mean, just getting that for Christmas in the late 90s. Oh. I remember opening up one year, and I'm like, it was gold, man.
Golf balls.
I mean, it even had the gold package.
Yes, remember? The eggs.
Yeah.
Pro V1s, I think, have been out since I was a senior in high school, which would have been 2003. Yeah. They've been out 20 years.
Yep.
Still as expensive as ever. But Tour Balata balls. But the grooves, the rule officially comes into effect.
And the 392, which I mean, that's the amount of dimples on the golf ball.
Yeah, when the Pro V1 first came out, it said right on there, Pro V1.392 and 392 dimples.
Crazy.
Did you ever count it?
No, I thought
Take
about
a little
it.
marker and
Yeah.
go boop, boop, boop.
I never got that bored. I always like to juggle the ball on a wedge. I would prefer doing that than counting.
dimples.
Yeah,
now I don't even think you have to have the same amount of dimples because they're all different sizes. Callaway had those hexagon dimples there for a little while. I still think they do.
Yeah.
See if we got somebody on the line. David's about to text us and let us know, or we can just go ahead and bring him in. Who we got on the line?
I think this is Trevor.
Hey, Trevor. Want to talk a little bit about Titleist golf balls?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are privy to or familiar with this, but the Titleist Pro V1s are going to do the same thing. I think in 2035 was their goal to change from like the Beleda, how they did with the Beleda balls to the Pro V1s. Now they're going to change the Pro V1s to kind of scale them down and dampen the performance of the golf ball, right?
Yeah, the golf ball rollback will be coming into effect, yeah.
And so that's going to be in 2035, right?
Yeah, it's in the 30s. 35 sounds right. I can't remember exactly.
Something around there.
Yeah,
so I mean, so would it be? Do you think it would be a good idea to buy a bunch of Pro V1 old school Pro V1s, like original Pro V1s now, and see how they hold up in 10 years? I think that would be an interesting topic too.
Yeah, that's the big question. And a lot of people said they would kind of stock up on some, but I don't really know what the longevity of a golf ball is.
Yeah.
It's a good
I guess
question.
if it's stored properly, it shouldn't.
Yeah, it should maintain its maintain everything, I would think. But they're also different now because they all have solid cores versus, back in the 90s and early 2000s, everything was a wound rubber band ball.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it costs $125 on eBay right now for Titleist 90 Tour Bellotta golf balls. So I don't think that would be I think that would be a wise investment to grab up some old Pro V1.
That's what I'm saying.
Dang.
And they did have a 110 Beleda. I found one at Bay Point, actually.
Nice.
One in my entire life. I've seen that a 110 Beleda ball, and it was.
That's what I thought. There was three sets of compressions. There was the 90, the 100, and the 110.
You are. I believe you are correct about that.
Because back in the day, it was the golf ball. I don't know if I'm saying this right. The golf ball impacted your performance a lot more then than I think it does now. Now you've got the drivers and the shafts and everything has changed so much that the golf ball obviously affects performance, but not as much as if you were hitting a 90 compression Bellotta ball versus a 110 compression Pro V1 professional, or not Pro V1 but Titleist Tour professional.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the club technology as well.
Yeah.
I think it probably takes out some of the finesse of the golf ball versus, the club.
Yeah, well, and Jay talks about it all the time. The game has changed so much now that it's hit it as far as you can. Doesn't matter where you hit it. Just hit it as far as you can, hit it as close as you can, and try to make birdies. Whereas back then, when you were using those kind of golf balls and the clubs you had to use, the fairways were a premium. The technology has made it so much easier to hit out of the rough or hit at anything.
Exactly.
So it's wild. It's going to be interesting to see if the golf ball rollback's really not going to affect the amateur golfer too much, because it scales up. The more your swing speed is, the less distance you'll hit it.
Mm-hmm.
So people like us, Jay, we may lose 2 or 3 yards.
Right.
Which if you're not hitting the ball solid on the club face anyway, you're going to lose some yards regardless.
Right.
But technology can help with that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You a pretty avid golfer, Trevor?
I'm getting back into it. So I'll see you guys out there at Bay Point.
Yeah, definitely. And don't forget about our local pass as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just got the range pass.
Oh, nice. Well, we appreciate you coming out there. Yeah, we got our ranges in good shape right now. We overseeded, and now we have the mat, so we can give ourselves a break so the grass can continue to be in great shape. So continuing to do stuff out there to improve the experience. That's for sure.
It looks beautiful out there. You guys are doing a great job.
We appreciate that. Got a big couple days coming up. We appreciate your call, Trevor, and keep an eye on those golf balls. I can't believe $125. Was that for a dozen, David?
That was for... I have to go back.
I would imagine it was for a dozen. It's almost like an antique, right?
Yeah, it's for a dozen.
For a dozen? That person's been hanging on to those for a while.
It's actually for 2 dozen.
Oh,
it's actually
snap.
for 2 dozen.
Okay,
yeah.
62.50 a dozen. Not bad.
What do you think drives the golf business? Do you think these manufacturers still hold the key, if you will, to golf? I mean, it seems like manufacturers just run everything.
I don't know. That's a tough question for me.
But
I don't know what you mean by run the golf business.
Well, it's almost like a push pull, if you will, because you got the USGA that hammers down on play in 4 hours, pace of play, blah blah blah. But then you've got the manufacturers that raise prices in golf balls. It's all about the sell aspect of the golf industry, and which one do you think drives? It's almost like a push pull, if you will. I mean, I don't know.
I would say more the golf courses drive that.
Yeah,
but I know what you're saying. I mean, and it's tough because you have to have equipment to play.
Right.
And equipment is extremely expensive, but so can be playing golf, but it's also extremely expensive to maintain a golf course to a high level. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think, David?
I guess my perspective on it would be that you have different levels of it, right? Because you can go out and you can buy equipment for a good price.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You really can.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing is, it's like going out and buying nice tools and you don't even know what you're doing in construction. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that it's more about having what you need and not what you want. So I think there's ways to get around it. And here's the other thing, like for people who are just like on a budget, like myself, right? Sometimes you just can't go play the Bay Points.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about Bay Point, right? Is like, all right, so we give you opportunities throughout the year to get it for a good deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I mean, like Ryan says, it's been so cool working along you guys, but with Ryan being the GM, you like get insight on things that before you look at it, and it's like, man, why is it so expensive? It's grass. You know what I mean? Like you're essentially charging us to play, like, and not. I'm being way left field, but it's like when you start getting insight on that, you're just like, holy cow, 1 million gallons of water a day. You know what I mean? And you're just like, okay. So I guess what I'm getting at is the financials do play a role, and just like kind of everything in all facets of life, the more that you pay, the better things you're going to get. But you don't. But that it's not going to satisfy you the level of things that you're playing. You can still go enjoy golf at a putt course if you wanted to. You know what I mean? The same way. So I think that the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I see what you're saying. I don't know which one drives it though, right? Because the golf courses got to get their money. Right, the golf courses have to get their money, or else there's no golf course.
It goes up together. In order to make money, you have to charge enough to get there. But in order to make money, your product has to be good. So golf is such a double-edged sword when it comes to the green grass operation.
Yeah. But then the industry side of things, it's just like our cell phones. Like, do we need a new one every single year? You know, But I mean, if you're the company, you have to. You see what I'm saying? Because someone might be buying in the market of buying golf balls every month or so that. Whereas you got people like me who's like, I'll go into the woods and find what I need. You know? So it's a circle of life as well.
Well, there's so many different levels of golfer, right? There's the avid golfer that plays 4, 5, 6 days a week. And then there's the extremely casual golfer that may play a couple times a year. They're going to have completely different purchases and what they have, their equipment and all that. So I don't know. It's a good question.
It has changed a lot over the last 20 years. 20 years ago, you could go into a big box store and get you 14 clubs, a bag, and ready. But, now, like with Allen, right? At
Everything's
Golf Plus,
custom.
Everything is custom. And, if you do go and get those golf in a box, if you will, it's almost kind of like, eating soup with a fork. I mean, it's just not going to work.
There's one. I mean, eating soup with a fork. Write it down. Eating soup with a fork. But no, that makes sense because your ceiling with a set like that is going to be to a certain degree, right? Because your equipment does matter for your performance. And that's really where technology has come into the world of golf. I didn't know we were going to be talking about golf all day, but I like this.
In the midst of bowl season?
In the midst of bowl season. I did. did have preview national semifinals on my list today. We'll get to that.
We got 11:50 or 12:50, whatever.
Yeah, 12:55. Don't forget.
Cliff says he's leaving at 11. Oh, 12:55. Cliff says you guys are hitting on why golf is so expensive in the U.S., whereas in Scotland golf is so much more accessible. Have either one of you guys been to golf overseas?
No, but it's because the maintenance of courses in that neck of the woods is so much different than here.
Gotcha.
Minimal water usage, minimal chemical usage. You're really just focusing on your greens, and everything else is very, very natural. Now, when they have the Open Championship and that kind of stuff, they boost it up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot that goes into it, and everybody pretty much walks over there as well. So
yeah, and it's the foundation of golf. I mean, it's the constant.
It's just like everything else. We Americanize it and we make it inexpensive or very expensive and more difficult to play.
That's right.
But yeah, getting back to your original question, I don't know who moves the needle more.
Yeah.
I don't know if equipment prices were a lot less, if that would get people playing golf more. It just depends on what the motivation is.
Right.
But I think in the last 10 years, the motivation from the golf operator side is make golf fun.
Yeah.
Make golf fun.
And that's me. I had 2 young guys yesterday afternoon till dark. I mean, great golf. They are so into it right now. It's amazing. And, hung out with them for an hour. And, of course, I had to ask the question. I'm like, hey, guys, what do you think about LIV? Because I want to know a 25-year-old's perspective on it. And, I'll leave with this thought moving into 2020.
Live with this thought?
Yeah, I'll live with this thought. But if that's like what we said last night, at the end of the day, if there's no greed, or if they're trying to do it for the fun to better the game, dude, I'm all in.
Yeah,
I am all in. But I just haven't been able to quite believe that yet. And once I believe it, personally,
I don't believe that for either tour. I don't believe that for the PGA Tour. I don't believe that for the LIV Tour. I don't think either one of those tours is in operation for the betterment of the game of golf.
Right.
Because they're money-making entities. The PGA Tour was a non-profit money-making entity, and that's what led us to this moment in golf. We are 4 days from the deadline for the merger.
I don't know. I just want to go back to I don't know, but I want to go back to the Bobby Jones days of the playing the game of golf for the reason it was being played and
competition and the love of the game.
I mentioned Constitution. Back to the Constitution of America. The 10 commandments. No, not the 10 Commandments, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean everything. I mean, it's just I don't know, man. It's they got to get it all together.
It's going to be wild next year. It's going to be wild on so many professional sport levels.
Yeah,
and it is a.
It's wild already.
Now.
It's
College,
crazy.
Yep. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Conference realignment.
Yeah,
12-team playoff, LIV Golf PGA Tour merger. Who knows what's going to happen next year?
Well, and then with the 12 teams, I mean, they're still not going to figure it out next year. It'll go to 20. It'll go to 24 by 2028.
It'll be a lot of playoff games.
Yeah, I mean,
I think 12's the cap.
You think so?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're talking about football games.
Yeah,
and you can't play 16, 17 games a season. You won't have anybody left
until they start seeing those dollar signs, and then they're like, "Well, you know what we're gonna do." It's going to be a 1-game season. The rest are playoffs.
Yeah. You better come hard that first game. Oh, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, when we get back, I don't know when you're leaving, so it really doesn't matter. But
one more segment. And I'm out.
One more? That's it?
You went from 12:55 to 11:55.
It would have been nice if you told me that at the beginning of the show so I could have planned to do our pick'em, because we have to do our pick'em.
The saddest part of all of this is that he brought the guitar in the studio once, outside of the studio twice, technically, and in 2023, we won't be able to hear the great Jay play the guitar over the air.
Yeah. Maybe we kick it off in 2024?
Don't say maybe.
Yeah. That's all you ever say is maybe.
Just bring it.
I mean, I bring it, but I'm waiting for that one moment.
What's the right moment? You're going to be waiting for that for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right, we'll kick off 2024.
January 2nd.
January
2nd, 2024, which is next Tuesday.
We'll bring in a couple of songs.
There you go. You got to ring in the new year.
Yeah, it'll be
some
good.
Auld Lang Syne. You going to play that for us?
Some what?
Nothing. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back with our picks.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Georgia versus FSU live from Miami. ESPN Northwest Florida presents the 90th Annual Orange Bowl. Saturday, December 30th. Kickoff at 3. Listen to live play-by-play here on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
Sports fans, we love our teams, but let's talk real estate for a moment. Meet Berg Title, your trusted local real estate title and escrow company. Based in downtown Panama City, Berg Title knows the community inside out. They handle everything from title searches to escrow services with expertise. Honest, reliable, and here to make your real estate journey smooth. Remember, it's Berg Title. Call them at 850-250-2900. That's Berg Title, your partner for a worry-free real estate experience in Panama City and Panama City Beach. Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627. For
the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey and Jay Henley.
This man is destroying golf.
Broadcasting live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
You may be right, but our ratings are up and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. Facebook, X, and YouTube, as well as downloading our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. Give us to 1210, Jay. 1210.
Okay.
See?
Yep.
That was
12:55.
easy. Yeah, 1220.
Okay.
12:30?
12:15.
12:40.
12:15.
I like 12:40 because that's you can't go at 12:15. That's in the middle of a segment.
Yeah, that'd be embarrassing.
12:20 wouldn't work because we've got something planned there. 12:40 would be perfect.
Gotcha. All right. I'll hang in until 12:20.
There you go.
Yeah.
See how easy that was? We pulled your leg. Well, that's not the right phrase. All right. That way we can... twisted your arm.
Yes.
That's the one I was looking for. Pulled your leg. I don't know.
Pulling your leg is like telling a fib.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And sometimes you pull too hard, that leg will come off. All right. We'll talk about your favorite moments from the show when we get back at the top of the hour. That's why I wanted you to stay for 1 minute.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and do our pick'em. I was looking at this yesterday when we were going over the results from last week, and me and David have been within 2 since week 13.
Wow.
He was ahead by 3 in week 12. Week 13, I was down by 2. Week 14, I was down by 2. 15, down by 2. 16, 17. And this is technically week 18 because we started our first week, that first week of college football. So it doesn't technically coincide because it is week 17 in the NFL. Got 5 bowl games in this one, Jay Henley. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You going to go first?
Yes.
Ole Miss at Penn versus Penn State. I can tell you the name of the bowl. Let's see. That is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
Why did I feel like when I left here yesterday, there was a game that we picked with Ole Miss, and y'all blamed me for it? What was it? Was that Ole Miss?
I think it's the Coach James Hale versus the Inside Drive. Yes, we did, in fact, take Ole Miss, and they took Penn State.
Oh, we did? Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, we took Ole Miss.
All
yeah,
right, sweet.
Just a little quick update before you give me your pick.
Yeah.
We are now tied with the Coach James Hill Show. We each have 16 correct picks and 9 incorrect picks. After the games yesterday, we got Virginia Tech, West Virginia. Neither one of us got the Louisville USC game, and that was pretty exciting there.
Miller Moss.
Yeah, Miller Moss. What a name. Six touchdown passes there. Jay ties a Pac-12 individual game record with Jared Goff and somebody else. I forget the other person's name. But they took Texas A&M, and we took Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma State got the convincing victory, so it's now 16-9 with several more games coming up. The next difference for you when you're watching today is we took Kansas State. They took NC State. And Kentucky, that's tomorrow. Okay, so that's the only difference. All right, back to it. Ole Miss and Penn State.
Yikes. Oh, boy. I mean, let's go Penn State.
We are?
He's going for Coach James Hill Show.
Yeah.
I'll take Ole Miss.
Ooh, I like Ole Miss as well in this one. Let's see how fast I can type.
Basically, all of our bowl picks are going to be how we bowl picked.
Yeah, yep. All right, Missouri versus Ohio State.
Oh, boy. You can't count Ohio State out. Let's go Ohio State.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
OSU?
Yeah. I think the Buckeyes are going to be dealt a bucket of misery from Missouri here. Give me Brady Cook and the Tigers. Do it.
I was going to take Missouri as well, I got to catch up. There's only, 1 week left? We'll keep going. We'll do some playoff action.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got the rest of the NFL. Bring it. And then we'll just start a new one. You should start a different one, but we make the same picks, but just keep track of all of our picks that we make from January 1st or January 2nd, technically.
All the way through.
I want to place a bet on the air.
What's that?
Next Monday morning, what would be a good over-under on the amount of coaches that gets fired in the NFL? What would be a good over-under?
Why Monday morning?
Well, Sunday's the last game of the year, right? No, is it next Sunday?
Next Sunday.
Oh, never mind. Okay, well, the following Monday.
I'd say at least I'll put it at 5.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Man.
Would you take the over or under there, David?
Oh, I would have to take the under just because we've already seen a couple go.
Yeah.
And we had that big change last year. Salah's not going anywhere. So where I'm looking, I mean, Bill Belichick and Tomlin, only one of those could be going. Ain't no way both
I
of
don't
those
think
coaches.
they I don't think they move off of Tomlin.
Yeah, no way. I mean, they're still fighting for it. And they
Who
just
are you
blew
gonna
out
get?
the Bengals when everyone was picking the Bengals.
Yep.
Everyone was picking the Bengals to win that game. We just, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Though. That's a good one. Yeah, like David said, if there hadn't been, the Raiders already fired their coach. Staley got fired. Who else got fired? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Did I see something?
Reich over in Carolina.
That's right. He got fired early on.
Something happened in Denver? What happened in Denver?
You want to talk about Russell Wilson?
Yeah, they benched
We can do that
Russell.
real quick. Yeah, they benched Russell Wilson, but they didn't bench him because of performance. Basically, the way his contract reads, if I'm remembering this off the top of my head, if he can't pass a physical in March, basically if he were to get hurt and not be able to pass that physical, in his contract he'd get like another 35 or 37 million or something like that. So basically, they're benching him so he doesn't get hurt, which just completely shows that they're going to move off of Russell Wilson going forward.
Gotcha.
So Jared Stidham will play against in the game coming up this weekend, and then me and
You think Peyton's in for another year?
Yeah. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I got you.
I think you're talking about Peyton Manning. I was like, wait, he's coming back?
He's coming back.
Hey, you never know, Omaha.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to talk about that maybe later. It's potential landing spots there for Russell Wilson. All right, Auburn versus Maryland.
Wow. Wow.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let's go Auburn only because Hugh Freeze is on the up and up, and hearing from our Auburn network folks, I think next year's going to be a good year for Auburn.
Auburn makes the playoffs next year?
I think so. Yeah, I really do. Yep.
Ask me that question. No Talia. I'm taking Auburn here.
All right. I'm also taking the Auburn Tigers. I think they seem to be excited to play in that bowl game, much like Georgia is against FSU, which I did not put on here because I think we know who's going to win that one. Next two college are the two playoff games. I'll go first in this first one. Michigan and Alabama. I'm taking Alabama.
Okay.
Go on ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I'm playing catch up here. I will go with Michigan Eddie and go with the Wolverines.
There you go.
Not so fast, my friend. Roll Tide.
He was sitting on good. See how quickly he got that one out there?
He did.
Auburn Tiger Fight song didn't come out fast or come out at all. There it is.
We'll knock all three of ours out, huh?
Yeah, this is the Coach James Dale Coach James Dale.
All right, there we go. We're all satisfied.
Which is also confusing because Auburn plays that same one.
Right. They all sound the same.
Hey, it's like when you remember the NCAA football game back in the day, you'd be hearing those fight songs, you'd be like, oh, that's that school. And then you'd be watching a football game like, oh, they played the same thing too. I guess there's just so many songs you could play with that, with the instruments. So.
It's very catchy. All right. Washington versus Texas. We'll let David go first on this one.
Man, this one's tough, but I think Washington's got that dog in them. They were a big underdog to Oregon and then basically covered their own spread against Oregon. I think Texas has got a lot to play for here. Quinn Ewers is a heck of a quarterback, but it's not just about Michael Penix over there in Washington. Number 7, I'm trying to think of the running back's name right now, but that dude is his emergence has been very beneficial for Michael Penix. There's just something about that underdog story. I would love to see a Texas-Alabama rematch in the Rose Bowl. That would be great, but I really do think that Washington's the better team here.
Jay?
Well, I kind of see Texas walking down the aisle a bit, and they're getting into the SEC next year. So they're getting married and to the SEC. So they're going to show their Texas horns and beat Washington next week.
There you go.
There you go.
Give me a score. Just for fun. Just for fun.
Let's go 42-32. Yeah, 32 is a little odd, but
so
still could be a safety in there.
Failed 2-point conversion.
It could be.
You never know.
There's a lot of 2 points going around.
There's a lot of.
Go back to the Ravens 49ers game. It was like 5-0 for a while.
I saw that.
And the ref tripped Lamar. I still think Lamar was going to do that either way if he tripped over the ref or not.
Yeah.
That would happen to me. I'd be that ref backing up and then tripping and be like, oh my God.
Oh, sorry, Lamar.
And then he'd trip the NFL MVP in his own end zone.
He's probably on Hard Rock Bets.
True. He had a prop for a safety. It was like plus 800. He put a hundo on it. He's like, here we go. Watch this. Safety. Lamar tripped you up. Here's my chance. I mean, that could happen.
You never know.
Look at all these incentives I've just put in my contract.
Yep. There you go. There you go. All right, moving to the NFL side of things.
Did you pick?
Yeah, sorry. I took Texas.
Okay.
I just think it's going to be Texas, Alabama. Destiny.
Yeah. Who wins the championship?
I hope Alabama, because I'd like $500 in my pocket.
Ah, there you go.
But
futures.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I put that in after they skated by USF, because 50-1 to win the national championship for Bama.
Oh wow!
Just seemed like a no-brainer. And here they are, 4th and 31, getting into the SEC championship and then beating Georgia.
Oh no! And what's I just
taking advantage of your opportunities.
Taking advantage of your opportunities is huge, and I think that 4th and 31, really helped propel them. Obviously, the win versus Georgia did it, but I still cannot help but look at the season and just be like, they left Florida State out and just overlooked Alabama's close wins against Arkansas, close wins against Auburn. Like I don't know. I feel bad. And you've had Knowles come out today, I believe. I don't know if it was players or not. I just saw like Jay mentioned earlier. I just saw the I just saw the headline. But yeah, if they go undefeated, then they feel like they should be crowned champions. And I just like, man, it really stinks to. That we're even in this situation because it shouldn't be that
Well, what's going to happen, too, Georgia's going to absolutely boat race them, and everybody's like, see, Florida State didn't belong. Well, yeah, they don't have 15 starters playing.
But that's my other side on that is
have the 15 starters play.
Right, and not that it changes anything, but it's like, stuff has been circulating on social media as well now, being re-brought to my attention. Bryce Young and Will Anderson played in our bowl game last year, and we had nothing going for it. And, you know, and I remember that last year when I saw that, because I was like, Bryce Young's not going to be playing in this bowl game. And when they opted in, I was like, first off, you got to give a lot of kudos to the athletes themselves for they're watching all of their fellow future draft mates not opt out of these bowl games, and then they go and play. And then you also got to give a lot of credit to the head coach and the coaching staff in general for getting those guys saying, hey, this is your last opportunity to throw the uniform on for the Tides.
Well, that's kind of how I look at it, right? Do you want your last game to be whatever your last game was when you have an opportunity to have your real last game and you go into it knowing it's your last game? That's where I would be at. I mean, you get hurt, you get hurt.
Yeah.
You get hurt walking down the street.
True.
You get hurt giving a golf lesson.
You know, yeah.
One of those little kiddos could go rogue and try to attack you.
Don't speak that into it.
Everybody face down range. Don't swing when there's people behind you. Cover your mouth. Don't get your teeth knocked out.
Circle back around on Nick Saban that I was just thinking about. I mean, he's just that coach, like, you just can't ever count him out. Like, I called it from week one. I mean, like, this dude knows how to win. And it reminds me of playing some real big golf betting games at Sea Island in my 20 years ago.
Yeah.
There was this guy named Richard Adams, and I tell you what, he could be stymied behind a tree and you know, like have a tuck pin behind a bunker. The dude's getting it up and down. Like, he's just that kind of a grinder.
Well, and you know, I mean, it's equated to what? Tiger Woods, right? If Tiger, in his heyday, if Tiger Woods was either in the lead or close to the lead, you knew he was going to win.
You know it.
And you could equate that. There's a mental edge when it comes to when you've created that mantra and that edge that you have over other people, other teams, whatever it may be. And I think Nick Saban's kind of, he's everybody's daddy, so to speak.
That's a good one.
I mean, how many people have actually, one coach has beat him that was a former coach?
I think we had 2 last year.
Okay. Because Sark, yeah.
Or Diddy. Right. Is it Diddy in Alabama? Diddy?
I don't know.
I think a lot. I mean, that's
from New Jersey.
Kind of like a South thing, but yeah.
Diddy.
Yeah. Diddy.
All right, we'll go ahead and take our top of the hour break. Now that we got you till 12:20, we can push over these 5 picks and then ask about your favorite moments from the Inside Drive in 2023. We'll be right back.
You're home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's Georgia versus FSU live from Miami. ESPN Northwest Florida presents the 90th Annual Orange Bowl. Saturday, December 30th. Kickoff at 3. Listen to live play-by-play here on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Clear this afternoon and evening with a wind out of the west around 13 miles per hour and a high of 60. Tonight, look for a brisk wind and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 42. Tomorrow, high around 52 and mostly sunny with a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, warm with a high of 55 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
You're home for the College Football National Championship. WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, this is Tim.
Do y'all sell bait?
Yes, we seasonally stock live shrimp, live bull minnows, live sand fleas, live fiddler crabs, earthworms, night crawlers, crickets. We also stock frozen shrimp, sand fleas, mullets, squid, pre-rigged ballyhoo, bonita, stingray, cigar minnows, Boston mackerel, Spanish mackerel, and a few other miscellaneous baits. It's worth the drive to buy premium locally sourced bait from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
And now, the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're going to have a talk.
Tell me what you know. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Sky rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome Welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It's our last show of the year, Jay.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for hanging out for one more segment.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully that doesn't put too much stress and anxiety in getting ready for the kiddos at 1.
Nah.
They'll be okay.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
They'll show up.
They will.
They'll be fine.
They'll be good.
Scouts there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're good. You don't even have to do the clinic.
There you go.
We'll just do another show after this. Have some fun.
I like it. We got bowl games to talk about.
Yeah. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Bowl games. What are those? What are those? Oh, FYI, Publix Sports Park's doing an adult flag football league in the spring again.
Uh-oh.
Just an FYI.
You're doing it.
Probably.
Uh-huh. David?
You got to figure out when it starts.
I don't know. I'll make up my mind when we get to that time.
He's going to say, he'll do what you say. Maybe.
And it truly is a maybe, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I just have to see what I got going on at that point in time. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what the day. I don't even know when it starts.
Right,
I just know that it's on their website again. Worm reached out to me yesterday. He's like, "You putting in a team?" I was like, "I don't know. I got to see if I can find people that want to play."
You gonna have tryouts?
No, because if I do that, you're not making the team. And I want you to be on the team. Seeing you out there just makes me happy.
Does it?
It
Good.
does.
Yeah.
It does. You're a good punter too, and this is the league you can punt in.
It is so wild, though, because, obviously I've got to meet you through this, but it was really cool meeting you then.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that was pre-show. Oh, yeah. JHenleyGolf.com. Golfwithj.com. I apologize.
Yeah.
It's weird if you're in that middle age, like 40 range, and you still think you're young, but you're not. Just sign up for flag football and play a couple of games.
You'll find out quick,
and you get humble real quick that you're you're just like
That's what it feels like out there.
And then you figure out you're wide open and people aren't throwing to you, and you're just like, I'm open. I feel like the kid in right field.
We
back
threw
when
to you when you were open. We threw to you multiple times when you were open.
I felt like picking the grass, just
run the route, turn around. All right, dandelion, butterfly.
Look, the defense knew. The defense knew who to focus on out there in the secondary.
They did. That's right.
They saw the first game and they said, we're not worried. If he catches it anyway, we'll catch him in less than a second.
Dude, I think we could recruit a heck of a team with this little platform.
That's what I'm thinking, because when we played in the summer, we got some younger folk that, a couple of years out of high school, and one of them, I got to get in touch with Chance, because he was like 6'6", and he could run pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we scored some touchdowns over the summer with him. But it's all about defense.
Yeah.
It's so hard to play defense and play football.
Yeah.
That's why you just got to tackle.
That's it. Just get a 15-yard penalty each time. All right, Jay, let's get back to our picks.
Yes, sir.
But yes, we'll be putting some more information out about that as I just like to do it because it gives me a reason to do something with exercise.
Yeah. No,
I feel like hell for the next 4 days. But
you got that right.
I feel good about myself because I feel that way.
Right.
I feel like I've done something.
Sure.
Got to stretch. Let's start training.
Okay. Hey, that could be a New Year resolution. Get out there.
These gyms are about to be packed out here for a couple weeks.
Yeah, they will be.
And then they filter on out.
Yep.
It's kind of how it works, it seems. All right. Lions at Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are favored by like 4 or 5, something like that.
Streakiness goes is that the Lions are on fire and Dallas is not.
Dallas is good at home, but they're not good against good teams.
True.
According to the stats so far this year.
Let's go Dallas. I mean, I'm sorry, Detroit. Let's go Detroit. Let's go with the other D.
There you go. All right, you're going with the Lions. All right.
I'll take the Stars. I'll take the Cowboys here, being at the house. I think that's what the difference is going to be. They played good against Miami on the road, had a shot there. I think they bounced back here with the big win against Detroit. Close game, hard-fought battle. I think Deron Bland's going to get him another one.
This is going to be a good football game because it means a lot to both teams. Right. The Cowboys need the win to keep a shot at that division, and the Lions are still trying to push for that number 1 seed. I would like the Cowboys to lose or win this one because I want the Lions to have another loss, so make that little path for that first round bye a little bit easier. But I'm going to take the Lions. Jared Goff plays really good indoors. It is on the road. It is in Big D, but it is also indoors, and I got to win a couple games over David here. So I picked Texas, he picked Washington, I picked Detroit, he picked Dallas. So there we go. All right, next one on the docket, the Raiders at the Colts.
mean, Raiders showed some sign of strongness.
Not offensively.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And they're playing who now? The Colts?
The Colts in Indianapolis.
Let's go with the...
which is the capital of Indiana.
There you go. Let's go with the away team. Let's go with Las Vegas.
All right, you're going with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
All right, I'll go second in this one so I can make David's choice whatever it needs to be. I'm going to go with the Colts at home. I think the Raiders play good on defense, but Gardner Minshew is going to bounce back from that tough game they had last week.
I'm right there with you. I think the Colts get this one done. The Raiders' playoff chances are alive and well, but yeah.
But not really realistic.
Not realistic. They essentially would have to end up winning the division, which would have to be a colossal downfall by the Chiefs, which is possible. We've seen it brewing. Give me the Colts, though.
All right, I did not put that Bengals-Chiefs game in here. But, Jay, what do you think? Bengals-Chiefs? Just curious.
Golly, I mean, the Chiefs are struggling big time right now.
And that's right there. That's how you end up losing bets. Is because you go with what a team just did.
Yeah.
But they're on a skid, right? They've lost, 2 in a row?
Yeah.
Not 3 in a row. They're 3-5 in their last 8 games.
Let's go Chiefs.
All right.
Yeah.
That's not a pick. I was just curious to see what your thought was on that one. All right. The next official game is the Saints at the Bucks.
My turn?
Sure.
Let's go Bucks.
I'm going Bucks as well. Sorry.
I'm going Bucks across the board in this one. I just think they're definitely the better of the 4 teams in that division, and they're playing good football, and Baker's playing some good football right now. I think it's good for NFL to see Baker Mayfield play some good football. All right. There's no Monday night game this week. You know why?
Why?
College football playoffs. So the whole trend of the Monday night football thing, it's out the window.
I was going to bring that up yesterday, but I didn't want to kill the thunder.
No, you gotta strike me down like a lightning bolt.
Well, no, because it was one
I
of
didn't
those
realize that till this morning.
And I didn't realize it until you were already done talking about it. So it would have been like, oh, hey, Ryan, by the way, what you were talking about 30 minutes ago was actually...
So there's no more Monday night football game this year then, right?
No.
Because next Monday is a national championship.
So wild card weekend, you're going to have 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and then 1 game on Monday.
Okay, so there is still one more Monday night football game coming up 2 weeks from this upcoming Monday. So the trend could still potentially be there.
And it'll be a playoff trend at that point in time.
Man, Wild Card Weekend is so much fun.
What is it? So AFC's like on Saturday and NFC's on Sunday?
They usually do an AFC and an NFC game each day.
Oh, okay.
And then I don't know what the Sunday night game and the Monday is probably be AFC, one of them, and NFC in the other one.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Well, you'll have 3 games on Sunday.
Yeah. So the Sunday night game and the Monday night game, I think, would probably be split.
Yep.
We'll see. We'll find out once we find out who else is going to make the playoffs. 16 teams still technically alive with 2 weeks left in the season. All right, back to the Pick'em, Jay. Yeah, Jay.
Oh.
No,
I just went with
David.
David.
We'll start with David there. Bucks across the board, Saints, Bucks. Here's a good one. Dolphins at the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens here. And it's one of those ones that I'm so confident in picking the Ravens that I almost need to backtrack because I can see the Dolphins winning this game. Healthy Tyreek Hill. I just believe in that Ravens defense. I know Lamar's getting a lot of
Ravens
exposure and credit, and he should, but that Ravens defense is sick.
Yep. Go ahead.
You want me to pick?
Yeah.
Mickey D.
I knew you'd go with your boy.
Yeah. You got to go Dolphins.
Did you see what he was saying on the sideline behind Dan Marino?
Oh, I did see that.
It was funny.
Yeah.
It was very Mike McDaniel-esque.
Man.
Can't repeat what he said.
No. Amazing.
I wonder how Dan feels about that.
Nah, that's not good.
He probably loves it.
You think so?
Okay. Records are meant to be broken, right?
Well, that's true.
All right, so you went with the Finns?
Yes.
Oh, man. Do I pick the Finns on the chance that they win and get me a game up? Yes, we'll go with the Dolphins on this one. I'd love to see some revenge against those Baltimore Ravens. All right, last but not least is the Sunday night game. That is the Packers at the Vikings. Big playoff implications for that one. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll go first in this one. I'm going to take the Packers in this one.
Okay.
I'm going with the Packers as well.
You know what? I'll go Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Is that at Green Bay?
No, it's in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yep, indoors.
We'll go Vikings.
It's a big game. Another big playoff implication game, that is for sure. A lot of big stuff coming up. All right, Jay, we've got about 10 minutes before you have to depart.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of your favorite moments from 2023?
Oh, man.
Interviews, moments, whatever it may be.
Yikes. I mean, it put me on the spot here.
I mean, I did say we were going to do it.
Yeah.
Then I texted you before the show started, like an hour and a half before the show started. I know you were giving a lesson or something.
Man, looking back on some great interviews, Charlie Belgian.
That's definitely in there for sure.
That's a great one. With his comeback story. The interviews we've had with Phil Shomo, where he just kind of brings a whole new light to golf and the mental side. Doc A brings a whole new light. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, he posted on Twitter yesterday. He got a golden tee for Christmas.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I'm assuming
like the regular size one.
No, I don't know. I'll have to find. It wasn't a full. It had a screen, but it's like one you would see at a bar.
That's neat.
I know.
That's cool.
I had comment on it because it was pretty awesome.
But we interviewed a top 75 Golden Tee, participant, Evan Scanlon. We had him on, and he was headed to Myrtle Beach for a big world event over there. That was a cool interview. Man, I mean. Our boy Nathan Sharns.
From the PGA, Secretary of the PGA.
Great stuff. Good insight from the PGA on him. Gosh, man, it's been a year, dude. What else?
7 months?
Or 7 months. I guess I'm just
I know
a year in general. What else, man? We've had some good ones.
I think one of my favorite was the first Jay Chapman show we had.
Jay Chapman.
We had a better looking Jay. And that was a good one. That was one of my. That was. I laughed a lot in that show.
That was a good one.
And then, of course, all the Kramer shows that we had, because he always brought another element of innuendos to the show that we. I really enjoyed the live at Bill Kramer GM.
Yeah,
I did too.
That one, when he was telling the story about the time he went on the field and he hit him with the doodad.
Yeah, with the doodad, little doodad.
That was great.
Yeah, there's been some good ones.
There has been.
And then, of course, all your Jay-isms.
Yeah. We went live out at the golf course.
Yeah, Bay Point for the county championship.
County championship.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Show enough.
Show enough. Yeah, man, it's been a year. Looking forward to 2024. I do know that.
We're looking forward to Tuesday of 2024.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Little guitar action.
Yeah, we're going to bring it in.
Play the guitar. That's what Cliff said twice on Facebook. So
okay, all right, we'll do it.
You got to get Cliff to call in.
He has. He's called in before. He needs to give us a shout. Let us get his PGA in. Yeah, he talks some PGA.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's funny how it's all changing so quickly.
It is.
I think Phil Shomo was one of his moments where he talked about people, and I've probably said this to not 100 people, but several people in the golf world, is that, if you're a good golfer, especially if you're a junior good golfer, and you hit a bad shot, it's not something you did fundamentally.
That's right.
You don't go from just being able to hit it good and all of a sudden you can't.
Yep.
It's stress levels. About maintaining your stress levels and learning how to control your stress levels will increase your ability out there on the golf course. And that's for everything in life as well. Yeah. When there's crazy stuff going on, especially when you're working, and the level of panic that you get bleeds through everything else.
Yeah.
And if you learn how to lower that stress level, your employees, your fellow coworkers, the people you're dealing with all feel that.
That's right.
And it's hard. It's easier to let stress take over and panic. But that interview with Phil, we got to get him back on, because he's fantastic.
He's a good one.
He's got some serious insight. That is for sure. That is for sure.
Our boy Keith Fleming every Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very thankful for Keith's segments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know for a fact Wednesday at 12 o'clock I'm going to be able to get some work in.
Yes. I don't know what he's implying there about you there, Jay Henley, but yeah.
Oh, no. Nothing about that. I just when Keith comes on, it
frees you up.
Down to business.
It's like I told Ryan, I'm sitting there. I used to listen to Sublime a lot back when I was younger. You know, and they had a song called KRS-One, and I looked that up, and KRS means knowledge reigns supreme.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about Keith and all his knowledge with football and stuff. He can bring the stats and the knowledge, man. So kudos to him.
And when you put that kind of information into play, it usually pays off.
We see it every Sunday, man. He texts us with where he's sitting in some of these DraftKings, and man, it's big. Yeah. It's huge.
Absolutely. I think he can make a living doing that kind of stuff.
I think he does.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. But yeah, man, it's been good, man. It has been good.
I wish I kept track of all your Jay-isms. What's the walking one?
Oh gosh, are you gonna? Oh, I have no idea.
Come on, it's in there.
The walking one?
I don't know. It's one David used to be able to repeat, and I forget it.
What was that?
Was there one of his J-isms where it was something with walking?
Walking?
I don't.
If you can't walk, crawl.
That wasn't it, but there
You
you
gotta
go.
walk before you. You gotta crawl before you walk.
There you go. Yeah, I'm just
walk before you run, and
All that stuff.
All that good stuff.
I'm gonna write them down next year.
I need to.
I'm gonna have to take pauses. I'm just gonna keep a notebook here.
I think my favorite, of course, is say what you mean what you say. Try not to be mean when you say it.
There you go.
My second favorite one is you've got to learn how to step on people's toes without scuffing their shoes.
That was the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was the one I was talking about.
That is one, man, because it is so much, like when you say it, and you could just be like, oh, the person listening could just be like, okay, like whatever. But I mean, it's so applicable in so many parts of life.
It is.
And it's not about scuffing their shoes as much, because you don't want to scuff their shoes.
That's right.
That's the bigger part of it is,
Right.
and so sometimes if you can't step on their toes without scuffing their shoes, then don't even do that.
Right. Yeah, no, it is, man. It's we're living in a crazy world, and just got to take one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, and I'm guilty of not doing that, and trying to.
We all are.
Yeah,
we all are. That's true. But yeah, a lot of good moments. That's for sure. A lot of good moments. Excited for future moments.
Me too.
Especially as we get back into college golf and all those sort of things. We got our big college golf tournament coming up in March out there at Bay Point with Lipscomb and all that stuff. So
our FSU women's coach Amy, we had her on this year. Had the FSU men's coach on. Yeah, man. I mean, we've been busy.
We had Cliff Ellis.
Amongst
all his various interviews he was doing. So we've been very blessed with a lot of the people we've been able to talk to. And like I said, I probably would have never been talking to guys like Charlie Belgian and stuff like that without the opportunity presented here.
Yes, sir.
Right, we get an opportunity every day. It's your choice what you're going to do with it.
Absolutely.
What are you going to instill with these kids here in about an hour?
Ooh.
What are y'all working on today?
We're gonna practice. We're gonna go from the Y to the L.
Ooh,
Y to the L.
YL.
Hey, man, keep it simple.
Better than XL.
Yep, that's it.
It's Jay's golf tip of the week.
Man, we haven't done a golf tip in 2 weeks.
Explain to us what the Y and the L is.
You got 2.5 minutes to explain what the Y to the L is.
Well, when you set up to a golf shot, you're gonna get into a Y.
Was it Robin Hood? No, not Robin Hood.
You're gonna get
Peter Pan.
You're gonna get into the Y shape where your club and your arms are gonna look like a Y.
There you go.
Yeah.
The club is the bottom part of the Y, and your arms are the top
part. And you're gonna take the club back, and you're gonna get it into an L shape where your left arm is straight, and then the club is standing up, and then you're gonna finish with another L, and that's it. That's all we're working on.
Keep it simple.
And it typically gets the ball up in the air, which when a 7-year-old does that for the first time, there's a lot of smiles.
Well, and it's, you talk about getting the ball up in the air, right? It's such a common misconception, especially with young golfers. Like, in order to hit the ball in the air, you have to, like, go under it and scoop it and all that. Like, I hear adults saying that.
I know.
It's like, it's not how it works. You're actually hitting down through the golf ball, and because the club has loft on it, that's what's getting the ball in the air.
Yeah.
It's such a common misconception.
It is,
Liam may have to take a couple lessons with you before the break ends.
Is he trying to scoop it?
Our next step is learning now how to hit down through the ball.
Right.
And until he really starts figuring that out, I don't think he's going to make any progress.
Golf is not, it's the opposite of human nature.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And that's why it's so important to, get out there and practice the right things. So
it's like if you're a right-handed golfer, in order to hit it straight, you got to feel like you're hitting it over the right field fence.
That's right.
And the opposite for a left-handed golfer.
I'm going to get a lesson with Jay and then do a testimonial. I gained 120 yards on my drive in golfing with Jay.
You can too. You were hitting it 210, now you're hitting it 340.
Let's don't tell lies on the radio.
Hey, and you never know.
If David can only hit it 60 yards off the tee, and now all of a sudden he's hitting it 250, that's some serious increase.
There you go.
And there's facts to that. I mean, I think I drive it further than 60.
Let's hope. Oh, man. Good stuff.
Depends on the day.
All right.
Depends on the swing.
That's right.
David, I hope you have fun in Jacksonville tomorrow. Is that right?
Yeah, it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, today is going to be, or the next 48 hours are going to be
Just a blur.
I can't wait to hear what you say to Dabo.
Yeah, we'll see.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool to hear from you on that. And then Ryan, I don't know what's the plans for the Mulvey family this weekend.
Now we got these two tournaments the next 2 days, so we'll be doing that. And I think we're just gonna do something low key New Year's,
chill,
like we always do. So much football on. You got Sunday is NFL, and then Monday you got the college football playoff.
There you go.
So much football on coming, and all these bowl games coming up.
Now, so Tuesday we are.
Yes.
Okay.
We are back Tuesday.
We're back Tuesday.
Yes.
And no breaks till Thanksgiving.
Right. That'll be good.
That sounded like a no sleep till Brooklyn comment.
That's it. All right, leave the people with one more phrase before you hit the old dusty trail back to the golf club.
This year, 2024, think good, positive thoughts.
There you go.
Yeah, it's 2023 is in the rearview mirror, and get some goals together, whether it's be a better person, be a better golfer, whatever it may be, and it's going to be a good year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like the tire. All right, Jay. We'll see you in, I'll see you later, but we'll see you on the radio show in 2024.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you hanging out a little longer than you wanted to.
Yeah.
When we get back, me and David will talk some sports. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida. Your official radio home for the Sugar Bowl. Listen to the Washington Huskies versus the Texas Longhorns in college football playoffs. Live play-by-play right here, Monday, January 1st at 7:45 from the Big Easy on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Clear the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour coming out of the west and temps near 60. We will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 9 miles per hour tonight and be cool at 42. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52. Mostly sunshine Saturday with a temp of 55. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
The presents have been unwrapped, the food has been eaten, and you're ready to take down that tree. It's the week after Christmas, and you've realized they didn't shop at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. You didn't get that sparkle you wanted, but you did get cash for Christmas. Don't let that Christmas cash burn a hole in your pocket. Come see us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We've extended our Christmas sale until New Year's Eve just for you. 30% off diamond jewelry, 40% off estate jewelry, and 60% off colored gemstones. Visit us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry and discover the joy of gifting yourself something truly extraordinary. Because after all, you deserve the sparkle.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey, and welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. He's going to play the guitar in the second. He has no choice.
Here's how we do it. I'll bring my guitar, and so if he's like, oh, man, I forgot, I'll be like, oh, well, here's my Black Beauty for you,
buddy. There you go. I'll put mine in the car, too, just in case. There we go.
Then we're all on the same page.
Backups to backups. That way he's ready to go. And if he wants to keep teaching at Bay Point, he's going to play some guitar on Tuesday.
Oh, man.
Hey, we don't want to go that route, but I just hope he's listening, so we'll make that stuff happen. But which direction you want to go, David? We've got NFL playoff chances. We could break down the 2 college football playoff games, or we could go to the Hall of Fame finalists that were announced yesterday for the NFL.
Oh, I didn't even see the Hall of Fame finalists that dropped. It's probably the least intriguing, but
it's definitely
it's the least intriguing to me, just because it's like, all right, well, knowing about them now, and then they'll vote on them, right? And then we'll know who it is by the time that we're getting into preseason.
Yep.
But I haven't heard about them, so let's dive into that, and then we'll.
Yeah, just real quick there, you've got a couple first-time candidates and 9 returning finalists that have made it to the final stage of voting. The 2 new first-time candidates are Julius Peppers and Antonio Gates.
Oh, Gates has got to get in.
He's got to be a first ballot, right? That's for sure. Also, he'll be joined by 15-player ballot, 5-time finalist wide receiver Torrey Holt and Reggie Wayne. They're back in there. And then 7 other players returned as finalists. I want to get this guy in there. Patrick Willis, he's been in there many a time. Andre Johnson, Dwight Freeney, Jared Allen, Willie Anderson, Darren Woodson, and Devin Hester have made it all back to the finals. Eric Allen, Rodney Harrison, and running back Fred Taylor and offensive lineman Jahari Evans made it to this stage for the first time after previously being semifinalists. The 15 finalists will be trimmed to 10, then to 5 during the selection meeting early next year. The final 5 candidates will need 80% of the votes from the panel to get into the Hall of Fame. And then obviously, like you said, we don't do that enshrinement ceremony until that Hall of Fame game there in early August, which is a long time away from now. You think Antonio Gates definitely first ballot, first time?
He's got to be one of the first ballot. There's a few names on there that I'm like, man, really, they haven't gotten in. And see, I guess I'm not as extreme as the traditionalists on the Hall of Fame, because a lot of these guys, were when I look back on my childhood, like, these were big names. If I'm sorting through cards or something, I see a Dwight Freeney, I'm like, man, that dude was a monster back in the day. So in my mind, it's like, if you put him in the Hall of Fame, I would have no issue with that, So there's a few guys on there, but as far as Antonio Gates go, I would be so surprised if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, absolutely. He became an All-Pro in just his second season back in 2004. He was an All-Pro again the next 2 years and went on to have 16-year career for the Chargers there. He finished with 955 catches and 11,841 yards, which was an NFL record for tight ends. And he also had 116 touchdown receptions. Only Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten had more catches or receiving yards as a tight end. So he led the NFL in touchdown receptions. So
Did Jason Witten get into the Hall of Fame?
Yep. Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten are both in there.
Were they both first ballot? Do we know? I know that
doesn't say that, but yeah, that's a good question. I would imagine Tony Gonzalez had to have been a first ballot. I don't know.
I'd be surprised about Witten if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because Witten was more or less your traditional tight end. Even, Antonio Gates, and you can't get away from blocking at the position of tight end. Kyle Pitts is like, even he has to block sometimes. He's just built more like a wide receiver.
Yeah, no, 100%. So good luck to all those. I would love to see my boy Patrick Willis to get in there. Him and he was a scary dude in that linebacker position. That's for sure. When him and Navarro Bowman were playing together, clubs on their hand and all, that was a kind of reminds me a little bit about Fred Warner and 57. Greenlaw. I had Al Shire stuck in my head, but he's now with Titans.
Yeah.
He's leading the team in tackles, I believe.
I like him, man.
He's a good player. He's got a lot of intensity, and that's what you need at that position. Real quick before we get into the other stuff, what do you think landing spot for Russell Wilson next year? Obviously, he's not a Denver Bronco. He won't be. They're planning on cutting him in March, saving a little bit of money there, and then who knows what they're going to move forward with. But some of the ones I thought might make sense were the Atlanta Falcons, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Minnesota Vikings. Given the Kirk Cousins, do you think he plays for the Vikings again?
Really, I think they've got to look at Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson, right? Both of them are around that $37 million a year deal. Both of them are at the point in time of their career where it doesn't, in baseball, you would be getting a lot of money here. But in football, you're almost getting to the point where guys like Kirk Cousins and Russell Wilson are going to have to take pay cuts of like $7 million or so. I really want to see the Atlanta Falcons. If the Bears are going to part ways with Justin Fields, I want to see the Atlanta Falcons do everything that they can to try to go get Justin Fields. Yeah. If not, Russell Wilson is a viable, you bring Russell Wilson into a team with that talent. The defense was really good. And if Bijan Robinson and Algier are going to be your focal points, then Russell Wilson can do well with the Atlanta Falcons. If I'm the Vikings, I would take Kirk Cousins over Russell Wilson. I think that Kirk Cousins being a pocket passer, and yes, he has mobility, but he fits the mold of the Vikings offense better of what Kevin O'Connell wants to do there. Another landing spot could be, you could see the Colts ain't going to do it because of Anthony Richardson. The Panthers aren't going to do it because of Bryce Young. Have the Cardinals made up their mind on Kyler Murray yet? There's just the more that I'm trying to think about teams, because the Lions don't need anyone. What about, do the Saints want to try to dive into another bad contract?
Yeah, they got to figure out something. They're in a little bit of a hole, that's for sure. But what about Vegas?
Vegas is a viable option. Obviously, Aiden O'Connell isn't the direct. Well, I can't say obvious.
That's the tricky part.
They're winning games, but it's not because of Aiden O'Connell. I just don't think that he's the future. It really is going to depend on what kind of a deal Russell Wilson. I just can't see a team saying, "Here, we're going to give you 3 years, $30+ million."
Like the
and but if you look at Russ's stats this year,
he's having a great year.
Yeah, the only reason that the Broncos aren't playing him is because of exactly what you said earlier. Either what happens, because if he's still on the roster come March, then he's guaranteed for 2025. If he gets hurt, then there's no way you can get him off of that roster. He's guaranteed through 2025. So they had to play their cards here. And I'm surprised, though, because Sean Payton took this job because of Russell Wilson, or at least that's what we assumed. And then after 1 year, which a very decent year for Russell Wilson, and they're moving on. But I think that's more salary cap than anything.
So much money's tied up.
Look at the Patrick Mahomes situation right now. Even with the team-friendly deal, they're starting to suffer because of it. And we cannot just say, oh, it's because of the wide receivers. Patrick Mahomes gift wrapped that game for the Las Vegas Raiders last week.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, or
this week.
Yeah. Yeah, that's still
Monday.
Yeah, it's weird. This whole time frame right now is just wild. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Look at this year and how many quarterbacks have gone down and how many backup quarterbacks have had to come in and have done fairly well. But so we got a lot of new quarterbacks coming in the draft this year. It's going to be anxious to see. I think the Justin Fields situation is going to be wild. Do they move off to that? Do they take that number 1 pick? Because they're obviously going to get that number 1 pick from Carolina. I don't think they've locked down that spot, but there's only 2 games left. So it'd be interesting to see. I think 3-10 is the next. I don't know. Anyway, if Justin Fields, and I think he said it too, Justin Fields in Atlanta, I think makes a lot of sense. But does the Bears just get in the same situation by bringing in a Caleb Williams or somebody like that?
Or
I like this.
The Falcons find a way to get Justin Fields. The Bears are looking at for a quarterback, and they're like, Russell Wilson. What about Russell to Chicago if they don't got Justin Fields? Because, if you're the Bears, I do think that you need to think about the fact that you haven't been able to develop a quarterback, so why not go get something that's already developed, try to get him on a good deal, and then put pieces around Russell Wilson.
Kind of like what the Detroit Lions did with Jared Goff.
Right. Yeah. If a team will take Russell Wilson and not be like, all right, this guy, we're going to do everything through him, but do everything around him and know that he can manage you to situations. Just like the Seattle Seahawks do with Geno Smith. Look at the Cleveland Browns right now. If that's not a blueprint that people want to follow, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah. You think the Browns get it done tonight?
The Jets, right? Yeah. You would like to think so.
Well, that's one of these. That's why the NFL is so different, because the Jets could win this game.
The Patriots Sunday Night Football against the Broncos.
Yeah,
that game was what the heck.
2 weeks ago, the Jets dominated. I forget who it was, but they dominated somebody.
Texans.
That's right.
Wait, and didn't they dominate in their last game?
Wow, what's his face was...
Oh, C.J. Stroud. No, that was the Browns.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. I'm thinking of the Texans.
They won last minute against the Colts. Something like that.
Hold on, I'm looking that up right now because I feel like it's been every other week for the Jets.
Yeah, like 1 week's good, 1 week's bad, 1 week's good, 1 week's bad. And it's just what would have been if Aaron Rodgers would have been there.
Yeah, okay, they were beating the Commanders really bad, but then it ended up being 30-28.
That's right. Yeah, they got up to a huge lead, and then they started.
Yeah, because Breece Hall just
he had a huge game, huge game. That's why Keith was talking about this week. You almost, if you're doing DFS, you almost have to play Christian McCaffrey against the Commanders because you know the Niners are going to give a heavy dose of that. That's for sure. But yeah, getting back to that Russell Wilson situation, there's going to be so much stuff that goes on as there is every offseason. But, Jared Stidham, you remember last year when the Raiders played the Niners, he had a great game, and the Niners had to come back and win like 40-something to 30-something.
Yeah.
So maybe Sean Payton sees something in Jared Stidham that nobody else has. I mean, he's not had a whole lot of NFL experience, but he hasn't played horrible when he's gotten in there.
Well, and the biggest thing is Russell not getting hurt.
Yeah, that
100%. Is the biggest thing for their roster construction.
Easily happen.
But I don't know why you make a move like this when you're still fighting for the playoffs, though. There's still that outside chance you can make the playoffs.
Maybe they think that they've got just as good of a chance with Stidham to make the playoffs as they do with Russ.
We'll have to see.
Guess we'll find out. Big game again. I mean, they're playing the Chargers.
Yeah.
And Chargers defense is okay, but offensively, I don't know if Easton Stick's going to make anything happen against the Broncos' good defense. But yeah, be wild to see. Week 17, hard to believe we're already there. Yeah, tonight's game. It's tonight.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
Yeah, and
Thursday night football.
Arizona, Oklahoma, North Carolina State, and Kansas State at 4:45. Rutgers, Miami's going to be all three of those games. Rutgers, Miami kicks it off right here in 24 minutes.
And Boston College is playing right now, right?
Yeah. SMU, last I looked, SMU was up 14-10, but I'm seeing here Boston College is up 17-14 now. I got the game on the laptop back here. Fourth quarter, 12 minutes to go.
Well, we both shows picked SMU in that one, so it really doesn't matter who wins that game. It'd be kind of cool to see Boston College win one. Then Rutgers, Miami, and we picked NC State. Nope, they picked NC State. We picked Kansas State. Both of us picked Arizona, and then we move on to tomorrow's game.
I'm really excited about that Arizona-Oklahoma game, man.
It's gonna be take the over.
Yeah. I like that.
The over, and I don't even know what it is, but take it. Should be a high-scoring game. I know Dylan Gabriel's not playing, but Arizona was probably one of the hottest teams going into bowl season. And who knows who's actually sitting out and all that stuff. But two big playoff games coming up, too, and we got about 3 minutes in this segment. We can start and we can bleed over into the next game. Some of the stats in the in the Washington and Texas game. They'll be playing in the Sugar Bowl, just down I-10 from us. You can, I know there's probably a lot of people in this neck of the woods going there. They obviously, Michael Penix won the Heisman Trophy this year. The Huskies really air it out. You were talking about their running back starting to make an impact a little bit, but they slung the ball down the field more than any other FBS offense this season, averaging 343.8 yards per game, with Penix being responsible for an FBS leading 324.46 yards per game. As the Longhorns saw in the Alamo last season, Penix can stretch the field seemingly wherever he wants. Adunze, if I pronounced that correctly, averages over 100 receiving yards per game at 109.8, third most in the FBS, and that combination led the Huskies to a 13-0 season. Obviously, that is a very high-octane aerial assault that the Huskies have, but they don't have the same kind of balance on offense that Texas have. Washington runs the ball just enough to kind of keep those teams honest. They ran the ball really well in both games they played against Oregon, which I think led them to victory in both of those games. But the Longhorns average more total yards of offense per game than the Huskies do at 75.9 yards per game. They check in nationally at 18 with 286.8 passing yards per game and 23rd in rushing at 189.1. The Huskies gain 125.5 rushing yards per game, and they're number 98th in the country. So obviously Washington's aerial attack is the key to their success. Texas on the defensive side of the football has been much better than Washington this season, with the third best run defense in the FBS, allowing 80.8 yards per game. Texas is 23 nationally in total defense, allowing 321.7 yards per game, and allowed the number 13 in scoring defense with only 17.54 points per game. Washington gives up almost 400 yards of offense per game at 396.9. That brings them in at 91st in FBS and allows 263.2 passing yards per game. That's 120th in FBS. So obviously, Texas, much more balanced offensively between running and passing, and Washington is certainly an aerial attack, but on the defensive side, I want to say Texas probably has the edge in this game, but that's where this matchup is going to be so good, and I know we got a break coming up. We can dive into this one, and then we'll get into your Alabama Crimson Tide and the Michigan Wolverines as well in the last segment of 2023. Hard to believe, but you are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida. Your official radio home for the Sugar Bowl. Listen to the Washington Huskies versus the Texas Longhorns in college football playoffs. Live play-by-play right here, Monday, January 1st at 7:45 from the Big Easy on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The presents have been unwrapped, the food has been eaten, and you're ready to take down that tree. It's the week after Christmas, and you've realized they didn't shop at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. You didn't get that sparkle you wanted, but you did get cash for Christmas. Don't let that Christmas cash burn a hole in your pocket. Come see us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We've extended our Christmas sale until New Year's Eve just for you. 30% off diamond jewelry, 40% off estate jewelry, and 60% off colored gemstones. Visit us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry and discover the joy of gifting yourself something truly extraordinary. Because after all, you deserve the sparkle.
Bill Bird Kia is giving you holiday savings during the season of giving back. Take your next holiday adventure in a brand new Kia, now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed and 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/24.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. I want to give a shout out to our studio sponsor. That's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor. You can check them out right there at the corner of Frankfort and 23rd Street. I'm sure they got lots of deals out there right now as the year is getting ready to close out. And, it's still nice. You can still get out on the water, get yourself a boat, get your boat fixed up as it'll be warm before we know it. We'll be complaining that it's too hot. So go check out Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor right there at the corner of Frankfort and 23rd Street. I also want to give a shout out to Berg Title. They are right there, locally owned and operated in downtown Panama City. They close with care. They'll come to you to fit your client's needs. They'll schedule mobile closings, more, whatever it takes to get that deal done, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens during real estate transactions. You can give their office a call, 850-250-2900. Also, give a shout out to Crystal Whiteley, as she is one of the best closing title agents in the business. All right, but now just jumping back into the Washington-Texas game. One more little stat. On third down, Texas has been an elite defensive team. They're number 2 in all of football bowl subdivision, allowing conversions on third down just 26.5% of the time. Whereas the Washington offense is number 11 nationally in third down offensive conversion rate of 43.8. So kind of a matchup of two strengths, Texas defense versus Washington's offense, and I think that's why the bookies, so currently a 4-point favorite as Texas is, but the betting population, it's pretty much split 50-50. You got some of the sharps taking Texas, they're -4. David, what do you think happens in this game? I know we don't have a ton of time. I want to get a little bit into Alabama.
With Texas and Washington, I mean, I think Washington's just got their back against the wall. The matchup predictors got Texas winning 69.2% to 30.8%. I'm not sure what the betting public is, but I know my consensus is, as far as from the people that I talk to, a lot of people taking Texas, just like Washington was counted out. I counted Washington out. I know a lot of us counted Washington out in the Pac-12 championship against Oregon. One of the things that stands out to me is both of these teams schedule down the stretch, where you've got Texas taking on Kansas State, TCU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State. A few blowouts, but a lot of a few tough games down the stretch. But for Washington, it was USC, Utah, Oregon State, Washington State, and Oregon. Now, the Washington State game wasn't the greatest, but outside of those, that's a little bit of a tougher haul, in my opinion. You're a little bit more battle-tested right there. And I think the biggest thing and what Kalen DeBoer has been able to do this year is kind of like Kirby Smart with Georgia and his players last year. Outside of it was at the beginning of the season, hey, you guys, they're expecting you guys to go 7-5, which, you know, was not even close to the truth at all. But with Washington, the proof is in the pudding. They can see the stats, they can see the spread, they can see that Texas is a 4-point favorite after a dominating performance in the Pac-12 championship game. Texas, yes, they blew out Texas Tech, but for some reason, I think this is a 27-24 ball game. Yeah. I like the Huskies in this one, outlasting. I think that it's close the whole way through and through. This is going to be, I think both of these college football playoff games are going to be very close, very good games through the duration.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and has you know, Texas, Oklahoma State, you know, that wasn't really a close game at all. Texas Tech put up 7 points. Iowa State 16. TCU, that was in Kansas State. Arguably, they're two tougher games against, you know, decent football teams. But I don't think Texas has faced. Let's be honest. When they played Alabama, that's not the same Alabama football team that's playing football right now. And I think Washington has an opportunity to kind of punch Texas in the mouth, where they haven't, you know, been ready for that or not. But how is Washington's defense going to hold up against a very balanced attack there from Texas?
How'd they hold up against that Oregon balanced attack?
They held up really well. Yeah. That's for sure. And Oregon, you know, they had played them once already, and Oregon had seen what Washington brings to the table, and they still couldn't get it done in that one. Yeah, it's a wild year.
It is.
Pac-12's ending, and
trending wise, Bama Texas makes so much sense.
Oh yeah, of course. But they got to get past Washington first, and I kind of like what you were saying, kind of Washington outlasting them. It's going to be interesting to see how the defenses hold up against the two offenses, and I think whichever defense can get a few more stops will get it. I like what you're saying, Washington 27-24 in that one. I think I picked Texas in our pick'em, but I think that was more to try to make some different stuff happen because you took Washington. Yeah, I was just trying to get there. But yeah, the betting population, like you said, it's pretty much split. 57% of the money is on Texas -4, so that would make 43% of the money on Washington +4. But should be a really, really good semifinal game. Looking forward to seeing that on Monday. All right, let's pivot over there to your Alabama Crimson Tide. Their turnover margin has really grown well. They rank 20th in the FBS. They've got a very positive. Their drop rate from their receivers is 4.5%, which is one of the best in the country. Playing some good football. Jalen Milroe really coming into his own and looking good, too, for next year with him coming back. But obviously this is near and dear to your heart. Michigan had had a tough go in the playoff last year, lost to TCU, and a lot of people expected them to win that football game. A lot of outside things happening with Michigan, and sometimes that can help a team stay focused and try to silence the haters a little bit. But, David, what do you think?
Nick Saban has a month to prepare. Enough said. No,
scary, yeah.
No, but in all reality, like Michigan, they stood tall in their battles, right? In the battles that they had, they stood tall. They came out victorious. They haven't had to deal with a quarterback like Jalen Milroe. That's my one thing where I'm just like, all right, if there's going to be a difference in X factor, it is going to be Jalen Milroe. The offensive line for Alabama, if you remember the first couple of games, the Alabama-Texas game, what was the focal point of the Alabama offense at that point in time was, man, their offensive line is bigger than anything in the NFL, but they were letting everything through. Well, the maturation of the offensive line throughout this season will also prove to be difficult for Michigan to penetrate the offensive line and get Milroe out of sorts. McCarthy, though, here's the thing. Everyone talks about him not passing, or the Wolverines not passing, but they have passed the ball a lot this year. It's just once they get to a position, almost think of it like the Philadelphia Eagles last year, right? Where as soon as they got the lead on you, they would just run the ball on you because they didn't need to throw it because you weren't going to really be able to penetrate their defense. So I think that it is going to be a defensive stand down, but you still have two very quality offenses here, and the Tide are going to have trouble containing Blake Corum. Like the duo of Donovan Edwards and Blake Corum I think is going to be huge, but that's going to be tough. I mean, we saw the Auburn Tigers run the ball very well on Alabama, and we saw Georgia do the same thing. I think you have a very close second half, or close first half, and in the second half, Alabama gets a 10-point lead kind of late in the fourth. Michigan has a late score to keep it within one possession. But I like the Tide here. We haven't seen Michigan stand up in the biggest of big games when it counts the most, right? They get to the regular season, win the Big Ten, get into the playoffs, and it's like, what team were we watching all year long?
Yeah, it's almost like they beat Ohio State, and it's like
that's their championship.
That was their big, because it's kind of how it had been prior to winning these last three. But yeah, I mean, they have an opportunity, obviously, to show that they got a shot for this national championship. But I'm gonna say Jalen Milroe a little bit like Lamar Jackson, right? Not apples to apples, but similar style. Now that you've seen what Jalen Milroe can do with his legs, that completely changes your schemes on defense and what you have to prepare for. And if they can, get him out of the pocket and on the move and running, but also that opens up some off-schedule passing lane stuff like that. Michigan really hasn't seen anybody like that yet. And I think that's going to be your big matchup is, can Michigan contain Jalen Milroe, not just from a running standpoint, but when he gets outside of the pocket and you don't know if he's going to, that's what makes Lamar Jackson so dangerous. He embarrasses linebackers because they don't know if he's going to run or he's going to pass. So you've got to
especially with those little
floaters, you got to commit to one or the other, and you commit the wrong direction, you get burnt. You get a lot of third down conversions, and I think it's going to be a great football game. I could see it getting a little out of hand from the Alabama side, just because if Michigan is not ready for Jalen Milroe. But at the same time, if Michigan can run the football and dominate some clock and keep Jalen Milroe off the football field, that's going to give them their best opportunity. And like you said, there was a little bit of Auburn exposed them a little bit, but it was more with Peyton Thorne running read options and getting a lot of yards, because they just didn't really expect Peyton to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if that's as much as what Blake Corum, not Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah,
J.J. McCarthy, what he really does. But they got a double-headed duo there at running back. They got some really strong tight ends, and could end up being, the over-under right now is only 44.5, with the over being less likely as far as an odd standpoint to hit. But the betting population is pretty split. The money is about 60-40. Alabama plus 1.5, which is basically a toss-up at this point.
Plus 105 on that money line, too.
Yeah. That's not bad there. I'm sure that's going to be getting hit quite a bit. Yeah, that's 71% of the money is on that money line being bet on that one. So the Sharps are kind of split on that one between Michigan and Alabama, but what do you think? Now, you're an Alabama fan, so you got to take your crimson glasses off. What do you think would be a better national championship out of the four possible, was it four possible scenarios? Three possible. Two. It's not two.
It's not two possible scenarios.
Right? Alabama, Washington, Alabama, Texas.
Yeah.
Washington, Michigan, Texas. Yeah, four scenarios. I don't know why I second guessed myself on that one.
The best out of the four. Man, it's just so hard to you can't really take your glasses off, because there's a side of me. Michigan, Washington would be great. Alabama, Texas, you know, that was a good game earlier in the season. People don't really like rematches though. Washington, Michigan would be good. Alabama, I think Alabama, Washington would kind of be one of my favorites to watch.
That one, yeah.
But if I had to choose, if it was what national championship would you rather watch? I could care less to watch Michigan in the national championship, right? Like, I would still watch it. Watch it. But it would be Alabama, Texas, just because it happened in 2009. Let's keep your quarterback healthy this time and see which direction the ball game would go.
And see what happens. I kind of like that Alabama-Washington action, too. I think that'd be a fun game to watch.
Penix versus Milroe?
Yeah, Penix versus Milroe. Heisman versus maybe future Heisman winner on that one.
Penix didn't win the Heisman, though.
Oh, no, he didn't. Jaden Daniels. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Close, though. We were riding them all year long, and Jaden Daniels just had the statistics.
Yep. The stats. Even though in the NFL, it's the eye test and the stats.
Yeah.
It's wild how that all happens. Well, we got about 3 minutes left to go.
What's your favorite game from today?
Ooh, my favorite game from today. Let's see. I'm going to say, like you said before, that Arizona-Oklahoma game.
Yep.
Even though it's not until 8:15, but it's a good little nightcap. It's going to be a fun one. I want to see if Rutgers, how they do against Miami as well.
Yeah, I think I got Rutgers in that one. That'll be interesting. I'm right there with you, though, Arizona-Oklahoma. I think North Carolina State and Kansas State is going to be decent as well, though.
Yeah, no, definitely.
How about West Virginia just clobbering North Carolina?
That
yesterday.
Interception that they had, that kind of, when they scored a TD on that one, that kind of changed things a little bit. But yeah, you get into the meat of these entertaining and exciting bowl games, that's for sure. And we're getting into the meat of the playoffs as well. The Ravens, the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Lions, and the Niners have all clinched a playoff berth, with only two teams clinching a division title thus far. That is the Detroit Lions, which 30 years since they did that, and the San Francisco 49ers. But a lot still up in the air. So many different playoff scenarios. Where it worked out that we didn't have to talk about them, but there's really an opportunity for so many teams to still get in this thing where they either control their own destiny. Like Buffalo's chances to clinch the playoffs are just wild. They've got like 15 different scenarios that they can make it, like a Buffalo tie, a Pittsburgh loss, a Cincinnati loss, and a Jacksonville loss. Or they win, Pittsburgh loses or ties, Cincinnati loses or ties, and there's so many scenarios, and we're going to find out a lot more coming up after this week. And much to Jay's surprise, this is not the last week of the NFL. We still got one more to go after that. And just like that, college football and NFL are winding down.
Red Zone's going to be wild on that day, because you'll have a few, maybe like 4 or 5 325 games or 305, 325 games, but the early window is just going to be locked and loaded.
Yep. Absolutely. A lot of stuff going on. They've got to keep track of so much stuff. And, of course, if you're playing in our fantasy football leagues and you're in the championship, your first week of the championship match starts this week. And don't forget, it is a 2-week championship matchup. So even if you don't score as many points as your opponent this week, you got next week. And you really got to pay attention to who's playing, who's not playing, who cares. Like if you had Russ, now he's benched. I don't know. You'll figure it out. But Christian McCaffrey, Raheem Mostert, a lot of these big-time guys are on most of these championship squads. I think Kyron Williams, Josh Allen, Tyreek Hill, Brandon Aubrey is on 34.1% of championship teams in fantasy football playoffs right now. We appreciate you listening all year long since May 1st. This will be our last show until January 2nd. Well, Jay will be playing his guitar to ring in the new year. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate our sponsors. Have a great New Year's, and we'll see you next year.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Nick Saban should be put in jail, Paul. He should be put in jail for what he did to that damn dog. in the SEC championship. He needs to be put in jail for what he's been doing to that dog, Paul.
That was criminal.
Now, I'll tell you what. We headed out to California with cut-off overalls. And Michigan, you better be ready.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Clear the remainder of the day with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour coming out of the west and temps near 60. We will have mostly clear skies and a wind speed of 9 miles per hour tonight and be cool at 42. And mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52. Mostly sunshine Saturday with a temp of 55. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumberyard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a place that feels like home right in the heart of Panama City? Well, look no further than Charlie Corm's place at their new location on 15th Street. Charlie Corm's is not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine cozy corners, friendly faces, and the aroma of delicious dishes that'll make your taste buds dance. From sunrise breakfast to late night bites, Charlie Corm's on 15th Street has it all. Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street is now offering exclusive weekday lunch specials. Visit Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street. Look for the giant mural.
At Brock Lawn and Pest Control, we're proud to be awarded the distinction of being Quality Pro certified.
Our technicians have passed rigorous training in eco-friendly application and prevention of pest treatments.
Part of the program is the practice of integrated pest management.
IPM's goal is to prevent pests from ever entering your home. It includes inspection, prevention, education, and, when necessary, application.
We're proud to be Quality Pro certified.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, the standard and level of trust.
Northwest Florida's home for college football bowl games. WGSX Lynn Haven, WPLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The college football playoff will look ahead to the semifinals and the Rose Bowl game as Alabama gets set to take on Michigan on New Year's Day. That's coming up ahead of Rutgers and Miami. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. College football live on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Throws for the end zone. Intercepted by Clemson. Touchdown. 68 yards. Drops back. Pocket closing. He's sacked.
Now with College Football Live, here's Chris Villani.
Good afternoon, everyone, and a very happy holiday season. We're inching closer to the college football playoff semifinals, and we'll look ahead to the Rose Bowl game presented by Prudential in just a few moments. But this afternoon, Yankee Stadium welcomes Rutgers and Miami for the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. It's a coaching matchup between a couple longtime friends. Miami's Mario Cristobal, Rutgers' Greg Schiano. They go way back to the early 90s when the former was a grad assistant at Miami and the latter was defensive coordinator. They coached together about a decade later, and they'll square out today in the Bronx. You got 7-5 Miami looking for its first bowl win since 2016, and Rutgers coming in at 6-6 in search of its first winning season since 2014. Miami 11-0 all-time against Rutgers, and they won those games by an average score of 46-10. They were Big East rivals back in the day, played every year from 1993 through 2003, but they didn't play before that stretch. They haven't played each other since until this afternoon. College football on ESPN Radio is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Don't forget to tune in to today's trivia question airing later on in the broadcast, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. We got